Hey folks, welcome to our latest episode of Football is Life. Get those fingers up, Billy, or Steph. Well, I just it's like it's a big game this weekend. This is the Arsenal fans episode. This is where we're at, right? It's been a little break since we last spoke due to work commitments and things. So yes, good to see you, Mike, and welcome, Billy. Do you want to introduce yourself to everyone and tell them who you support and why you're on here?
Oh, I am Mike's son here, Billy, and I'm here to tell you that Arsenal suck. They're the worst.
Oh
We're not
wow.
winning the league.
So what we have here is Billy is going to tell you what life is really like as an Arsenal fan, which is going to be fun. Mike's there to be a little bit of counsel, and I'm obviously here to poke some fun, and yeah. So that's the plan for today. So Mike, how are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm not nearly as bottle half full as Billy is. So
Mike's got some fire. Mike's fire. He's just got that
that's
fire.
right. I'm all about the fire. That's right.
I love it. I
What
love it.
what fire? There's no
You didn't
fire.
see this?
No, tell me about this fire.
So in typical Arteta over literal fashion, wanting to like not trust anybody, so you hire a pickpocket. So now he wanted everyone's on the club to be fired up. So he lit a fire, literally, at the practice pitch.
Guess that's better than the pen thing.
The pen thing. There's the TikToks in the background. Look, things you love to see. I'm loving. I'm here for it. Let's just do a bit of a summary though of where we're at and what's happened since we last spoke. So. On the good news side of things, Arsenal have gone through in an exhilarating tie at the Emirates against Sporting Lisbon. Um, yes, in the Champions League, they're in a semi-final against Atletico Madrid, which should be one for the purists.
More shithousery than any two clubs should be allowed. Like if shithousery were how you score that, it could be 12 all.
Yeah,
It's actually a crime, that match.
it is really, it is really. But look. Listen, there's different ways to win football matches. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. In the Premier League, it kind of looked like Arsenal were kind of limping towards a title. Looked like it was going to be a little bit of a whack whack wow, right? And more of a focus on relegation battle, which obviously in the other part of North London is even more relevant now, which is probably the only thing bringing you some joy at the moment. But look, there's context. Arsenal obviously lose a critical game at home against Bournemouth, and I think the manner of the defeat is now. This is the first time I've started to see some of my friends that are Arsenal fans genuinely alarmed. City go pretty average against the first half against Chelsea, then come out and really put it to them. Chelsea team that are obviously managed by David Brent, not going great for them. So what that means now is there's a 6 point gap, but City have the game in hand and they play. So if they win the game in hand and they win tomorrow, then all things are equal, and the goal difference most likely would be slightly in City's favour, but it's going to be neck and neck pretty much in goal difference, depending on the how many City put past Burnley if they go on to beat them. So what that means is we do well again tomorrow. We'll find out if we have a title race, right? If Arsenal win that game, obviously, then I think everyone would accept that's probably that. But yeah, what I want to get is the perspective from the Arsenal camps. We're going to start with you, Billy, because everyone hears from Mike and I an awful lot. What's your assessment of what is going on here at Arsenal? We've obviously done a lot of analysis and a lot of what we think is going to happen. Yeah, what's your assessment of how Arsenal have got to this point where it felt like this kind of should have been somewhat wrapped up?
I mean, I think we've had this amazing ability to not get over the line all season and to not finish chances all season. And I'd say we lost the league because we're not winning the league on January 25th when we lost to Manchester United.
Wow.
Um, Played some uninspiring matches against Chelsea, poor matches in the Champions League against the Mongolian club that nobody knows. Draws against Brentford and Wolves, for fuck's sake. Um, we can beat Tottenham, but Tottenham are shit. Can beat Chelsea, but Chelsea are also shit. An uninspiring draw away against Leverkusen. A dreadful match against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup. Southampton was the worst performance I've seen in years. And
That'll get
Bournemouth
behind.
was
That was as bad as it got. Yes.
I also by the way, I absolutely love that monologue, Billy. I also just want to remind you, you're top of the Premier League and in the semi-final of a Champions League. So there is this a champagne problem? I don't know. Like,
we could still win the Champions League. I think that competition is more suited to Arteta's, albeit boring but good tactics. And we'll play against teams that actually want to like play for something. It's not going to be 11 men behind the ball,
yeah.
as you'll see with most Premier League matches. But I don't see us getting over the line tomorrow, unless if we score a goal in the first 8 minutes, we have a chance.
Okay,
But the longer it remains 0-0,
so,
the
I mean,
longer we're screwed.
Everyone's saying that, you know, I mean, Arteta might decide, despite everyone, to go against the grain and actually show up and go and try and impress upon it. It's hard to see that based upon how they typically play, and have played this season. What I want to dig in here, but obviously, Mike, I want your opinion as well. Like, this is obviously where we get to, you know, there'll be parts of this where I'll just be poking fun, and that will be great. But this is more of a serious, like, because I've had a lot of debate around, like, if how much we put on Arteta versus the players, right? Because there's a tactical setup and almost philosophy, mindset, culture. This is all the nonsense videos don't help. I don't know why they let this stuff get. I just don't understand it. But I've said this for years, that over celebrating wins that aren't that material. Like, it's like, you know, if you win a game, like if you beat Man City, the Etihad, then that's a monumental
this week.
Like beating Wolves at home, it's like, you know, I don't know, and over. So to me, there's that which I kind of put. That's Arteta. Then you have the players, right? So and I kind of when I think through the Arsenal squad this year, like if I think about players, I go, I would say like David Raya has had, like, to me, a standout season, generally speaking. I know every goal he make the odd mistake, but he's playing as well as anyone, in my opinion, in the world. So there's him. I think obviously Saliba and Gabriel have been pretty. I feel the whole defense has been relatively good. I think it's hard to be overly critical of them. When you get mid to front, it then becomes hard for me to pick out guys that go, look, I'm a big Declan Rice fan. I think he has been good in parts of the season, but I don't think he's been, like, honestly, he's not been as consistently good as Enzo Fernandez or Bruno Fernandez or like this. So to me, he should be that guy, right? Zubamendi has gone a little bit off a cliff. He started very promisingly, scored a couple.
Don't get Billy started on Zubamendi.
But I want to know, obviously, Eze's come in, done nothing, scored, obviously lost playing in Spurs. I'm just going through Odegaard. To me, came back in, looked a bit better, but again, it's very. Saka's been poor. Trossard was great for like a period and it's gone off a cliff. And somebody was talking about, I was looking at like top goal scorer. Gyökeres looks like, honestly, a very bang average striker to me. And I was looking at stats and if you take like Gyökeres, who's scored some penalties, like Casemiro scored more goals than any of those players that I meant, like any of them. Like, and you're kind of looking at that going, something's not right there. So my question to both of you is, like, there's the Arteta factor and then there's the player. So it's like, how do you make that assessment? How do you feel as Art? Because you watch them every game, right? So I feel I don't watch every game of theirs. I watch obviously the big games. So what do you think, boys?
Good.
So go ahead, Billy.
No, you go.
I definitely put the play down to Arteta.
Okay.
I think that he hasn't lost the dressing room or any of that, and so they are all in to do what he's asking, and so therefore I've got to put it down to him, and it's the thing that I've been the most frustrated about is the style of play. They have all of it in their kit bag to play beautiful, aggressive football. There's no reason why they have to park a bus and play on the back foot and wait for, like, that's not who they should be when you look at the skill that's on the pitch. And so for them to play any other way, it has to be the manager.
Okay. Billy?
Yeah, I think Arteta is definitely to blame for a portion of it. His tactics are relatively boring. And I think I've noticed, particularly in the past couple of matches, that we're so much more willing to play the risky ball on our own 18-yard line than in the attacking third.
That's
Like
the exact
the,
question. That was my next question, Billy. So just keep going with this. I love this point.
there, like you have to be willing to take risks to score goals. You shouldn't be willing to take risks to keep them out the back of your own net. And I mean, Raya, I do believe is the best or close to the best keeper in the world, but he's made a couple of really sloppy passes, particularly in the last 3 matches. Uh, like my father said, Zubamendi. Oh my God, he sucks. He sucks. He can't control the tempo of the game. He's supposed to control the tempo of the game. He's good for at least 2 horribly misplaced, lazy, nonchalant, shitty passes. 4 per match when we lose. I do think Rice is still good. He's not up to the level he was last season, but that's not my concern. Without Timber on the back line, we're lost. Ben White and Muscara, they aren't it.
Timbers almost again, I would argue one, if not the best. Like, you know, he's up there, like, you know, in terms of like, because he's had some goal contributions this year as well, right? You know, so adding that to his game. On the Zubamendi thing, I was going to bring this point up with play, like taking risks. There's a good bit of analysis. I think it was JB Carragher or somebody did it about that. Was like taking risks in front of their own goal and then not taking the, which is just backward to me. And I understand like making up, but yeah, I think Zubamendi. I think part of it for me though is like, because Rice and Zubamendi, I feel like Rice, if Rice was playing further up, right? I think there's almost this kind of like. Rice is not, we talk about like a 10 or a 6, and then there's the 8, which is like Gerrard was a true number, right? Paul Scholes wasn't really that, because like Gerrard is, you know, Lampard was more of a 10, right? I mean, Scholes was maybe more of a 6, just dictating the tempo with his passing. Gerrard to me was a true 8. Declan Rice has all the attributes to be that true, but it feels like
absolutely.
But it feels like he's like. He is an 8, but he's told to be a 6. So it's like he's almost got this defensive mindset for, which is like, what if we lose the ball? Rather than actually, he should be the guy trying to break the lines. That's what Gerrard was brilliant at. It was like every time Steven Gerrard got the ball, he says this, he would look forward. Can I break the lines? Right? Can I pass forward through the lines to people? And I think there is a lack of that with Arsenal. That I think it's going to be really fascinating Sunday, because City obviously set up against them in a certain way. Man United did it. I think we did it at the end, and this actually started, I would say, ahead of that game, Billy. I don't remember when Liverpool came, and again, what was a very poor or average Liverpool team came to the Emirates, were under the cosh for 15 minutes, and then we were the better team for 70 minutes, and should have won that game. We were, and our midfield dominated your midfield. And I remember saying to Mike, I was like, I don't understand how our midfield is doing. I don't understand how Man United's midfield was able to do that. And I do think, because I know that your players are better. I mean, look, Szoboszlai's having a career season. Right, I'm not saying that Bruno Fernandes is probably the player of the year. Maybe he's brilliant, right? But what I mean is that the sum of the total of those components, like Declan Rice can go toe to toe with those guys. Like Zubamendi has shown and has quality. Like whether you play Odegaard, Eze, like you can put a bunch of guys in there, and you'd expect Arsenal to be dominating these games. I think, and what City did was actually they blocked those passing lanes and kind of forced them to go back to front. And I'm going to be blunt, like Gyökeres, effort is 10 out of 10. Like I would never criticize that guy for effort, but like he's not the guy, I don't think, that's going to be able to hold the ball up and play. It just doesn't seem. And I think the problem is plan A doesn't work. There's no plan B, and people do figure you out tactically. And this is where I wonder if there is some responsibility on the players to go. Just to me, like there's games where like Gerrard just took the Champions League final. You take the game with the scruff of the neck. You just go. You understand that there is a need for you as a player to go. What we maybe plan to do isn't working, but there doesn't seem to be that level of like, do you know what I mean? Like responsibility there in that team, which maybe is partly like, I don't know why Martin Odegaard is the captain of Arsenal either. But yeah.
Well, I think I just saw that the players voted Rice in for the rest of the season, or at least while Odegaard's out. So I think that's a positive step. But
yeah.
So do you think? So what? Yeah. Let's talk about Sunday, right? So we look. Man City have obviously. I still don't fully trust. I said this all season. I don't fully trust them to go and win all their games like I have in previous seasons. I still think they are fragile. Like I really do. Like they've still got some shocking results in them. Cherki's been pretty amazing. Like, kind of, people talk about Semenyo and that, but I think he's a bigger impact in that team than anyone. Haaland's been very poor, in my opinion.
Horrible. And they're still doing what they're doing. Yeah.
They are. I think, but defensively, you see, like you can definitely get at them. Like Guehi's made a difference, but they're not joined up. Like Arsenal have the advantage defensively. Set pieces wise, I don't think City are particularly good. So as Arsenal fans, like, how do you think Arteta is going to? Is it going to be much of the same? It's going to be one of those very tense, nervous games, a bit like the cup final, where maybe just City will edge it, but like, it's going to be low scoring? Or do you think there's going to be a shift change? Because a lot of, as usual, injuries for Arsenal that it looks like miraculously people might recover.
Go ahead, Billy.
I've seen him do it for 4 seasons now. He's not changing the tactics.
Okay.
We're going to play the same cagey match. I think we'll come out stronger and we'll be good for 35 minutes. We won't score. Man City will get a freakish chance. Put it away. It'll be Nico O'Reilly because he likes to score from left back. And then we'll have no chance in the second half. No.
Wow. Positive. There you go, Mike. What do you think? Are you feeling
I don't share Billy's entire complete gloom and doom, but I do agree that unlike most matches, this one could be won or lost in the first half hour. Like, it's if City score first, then I think there will be a death spiral. If Arsenal score first and continue to press, then I think it'll be different. But that first goal in this game has more psychological impact than anything else. And I think that if City score first, it's oh shit. Do
you think? Well, look, I've said this all season. I still believe it. I just don't know if Arsenal are going into this game believing they're a better team. Maybe this is the first time this season that belief might waver a little bit because of the cup final loss, because of the way City been playing, and like you said, Billy, like, I think your analysis was spot on. Like, I remember the game that stood out to me was the Everton home game, where you should have got beat. I mean, Everton, if they had anyone that could finish their dinner, you would have been, and honestly, well beat. A bit like the way Leeds played against Man United Monday night. It was a pretty comprehensive victory. When I'm kind of going, like, as much as Moyes has done a great job, I'm just like, at the Emirates, I was shocked by that, right? And Bournemouth going to Emirates and win it, like, Bournemouth again. I love Areola. He's done a great job there, like a fantastic coach. But you're just better than these teams. You just are, right? And this is the first time where I just think belief may be challenged a little bit. And I wonder, like, see, in terms of team selection, what do we think the lineup's going to be? Obviously, I mean, Raya, Saliba, Gabriel. But around that, I mean, Rice will play, Zubimendi will play, but then, the forward positions, the fullback positions, do we have any insight or feeling in terms of what you think he might do there? Based on who we think is healthy or somewhat healthy, it looks like Odegaard might make the bench. Saka is the one they're being the most cagey on.
He said he was out in the presser yesterday.
Oh, he's out, right? Okay.
He's out. Yeah. Okay. Everyone else he was non-committal on. So I think this is probably one of those surprise everyone's healthy things that you would hope. Like, I agree with Billy that without Timber in that back line, it's like Ben White looks lost.
Yeah.
Absolutely lost right now.
What about midfield? Who does he pick with Rice and Zuma? Is it just nail on Eze because of, I mean, Odegaard's not going to be fit to start, you'd assume, right? You'd assume he's not going to go straight in. I mean, he might, but what do you think? Or I mean, is Marino back? Because he does like Marino.
No, he's out for the season pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't. I feel he's somebody he trusts in these types of away games, like, because of his physicality. So you think it's going to be Eze then, right?
It has to be.
Yeah,
it probably will be, but I'd rather see
from Brentford. I forgot about him until they mentioned it this morning on the radio. Like, what's his name?
Norgard.
Yeah, is he even like?
He's a last 10-minute sub.
Right. Wow, wonderful move for him.
Yeah.
And then in the wings, so it looks like then Madueke will continue. He's been a bit, has had flashes this season, a bit uninspired. And I think Gyökeres plays ahead of Havertz. Like, you could play Havertz in there behind Gyök, no? Probably not.
I think it should be Havertz and Gyökeres.
You think instead of Eze?
No, I think it's Eze as well. I think it's Eze on the left
Oh, right.
and Havertz and Gyökeres as a two. You need one to take the pressure off the other and open up space. I think it was the Sporting goal in the first leg,
Yeah.
where Gyökeres dropped deep and Havertz found space and scored. You need someone to hold up the ball for the other,
Yeah.
and take the defenders away. And Eze can't do that, and Ødegaard can't do that, and no one else in the squad can do that. So it has to be the both.
Yeah,
of
so
them.
you think Madueke and Eze in the wings, you'll play Havertz in with
I think
Bright.
Dauman on the right.
You think he'll play Dauman ahead of Madueke?
He's not going to play Dauman ahead, but he needs to play Dauman ahead.
Okay.
He
Wow.
needs to try something different, and he's too scared to do it. And now is the only chance to do it.
Okay, and let's put this out then. If you lose this game, is the title gone?
Yes, that's like a de facto. What
Right.
kind of question is that, Ross?
But I think it's
So I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because our run-in is better than theirs and will be even on points.
Our form
So
is infinitely worse. Our form is infinitely worse. Our confidence is shot. My confidence is shot. Hello.
Clearly.
You hide it really well. Yeah, you hide it.
I don't know what you both are on about. There's the league. I said the league was over fucking months ago. But yeah, if we lose this match, there's absolutely no chance that we win this league. I mean, I'm looking at their fixtures right now. Burnley away, that's a win. Everton away, that's a win. Brentford at home, that's a win. Bournemouth, hey, we lost to Bournemouth, so they can lose to Bournemouth.
Friggin' cherries.
And Aston Villa at home, they like beating Aston Villa on the last day of the season to win a league.
I think Villa at home last day. I think the Everton away, the Bournemouth, the Brentford, those three games. I think I don't trust them to win all those games, but I mean, I think you've got Newcastle after this game, right? Which I know they've not been great, but they're a bit of a team that they always kind of, because their physicality, I think they do quite match up with you guys a little bit, and they'll counter attack at it. So, but the rest of your games are they not pretty straightforward? No.
I've seen us lose to West Ham enough times in the past 3 seasons to not feel good about that. Same with Palace and same with Fulham. So I see none of these as nailed on wins, as you might hope they would be, except for Burnley.
Okay, well there we go, Mike. Listen, what's predictions for Sunday then? We'll do predictions. Let's go. I'm gonna go 1-1. I think it might be a draw.
I think it's going to be a draw.
Billy,
like 4-1. 4-1 City.
Wow. Hot takes coming in here. I love it, Billy. Okay, well, look, let's to get off of doom and gloom. Let's talk about the other half of North London. Spurs now in the relegation zone, appointed a new manager, Roberto De Zerbi. Very football orientated, in terms of playing a certain way. Obviously had a bad loss last week. They look. Romero's out for the season. It just feels like Leeds are going so well. It looks like Leeds are going to be safe, right? That win was huge. I think they're fit pretty good. I think they play Wolves this weekend. You've then got Nottingham Forest, who are obviously they've got the European stuff to juggle. Probably doesn't help and makes that tricky for them in there as well. West Ham certainly looking much better and more poised. It does look like the Spurs look the weakest of the bunch. Is that fair to say that they're the favourites to go down?
They've picked up 1 point since the transfer window closed.
It's crazy, isn't it? That's
something
crazy
like that. They have fewer wins than they have managers at home this season.
there's the stat of the pod right there.
Domino's has sold 91 million pizzas since they last won a home game.
I mean, it's hard to see, fathom, and they obviously lost to Sunderland. Who have they got this weekend? I need to check.
Brighton, I think.
Brighton, yeah, they do at home, which doesn't help, right? Wow. Well, we'll see. I think they are favourites, as I say. I mean, I look at the I'm just having a look at the fixtures here. I know that Forest playing Sunday. I think Leeds will pick up points this weekend. I really do think. I think they'll do okay. Forest at home to Burnley. You fancy they're probably going to pick up something, right? You would fancy that, boys? No.
Yeah.
West Ham go to Palace. I'm kind of going, I could see the Hammers getting something there. Palace played midweek. I mean, they're going,
and they looked like they had a friggin' party after that win. That is going to be a hungover group.
It sure will. So that team's your Tottenham fans. Well, let's talk about the top 5 races that's become now, which is interesting. Chelsea are we're seeing you under massive scrutiny now. Weirdly, Enzo Fernandez, I don't think said anything wrong. He's been their best player, I think, this year, and then just have him sit out for a couple of months. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Obviously, as a Liverpool fan, things have not been going great. Champions League again, Arne Slot just starting Isak. I'm just like, why? I think he's now in a position where he's overthinking, and I've heard they're going to stick with him next season, but obviously now it's about securing top 4. We've got a huge game tomorrow against Everton away, where I think
it's derby weekend. Yep.
Ekatiki's out for the season now.
That looked horrible. I feel so bad for him. Going to miss the World Cup. He's not going to kick another ball for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I know. That's it. He's out probably till next year. Yeah, so January. So, but looking at all that, I think you have Man United and Villa locked there. Liverpool a few points behind them. You've got Chelsea, I think, another 3 or 4 points behind us. So it's a huge weekend because Man United go to Chelsea. They have, I think, one fit defender. I think Aiden Heaven. I think Martinez is obviously banned for the hair pull. Controversial. I didn't think that was ever a red card. But De Ligt is out. Yoro is injured. Maguire suspended. So, I mean, that could be a game if Chelsea win that. It bunches up. As I say, Everton and Brentford are hovering there to try and see if they could do something. You've got Everton at home against Liverpool. And then obviously Aston Villa trying to balance Europe with the Premier League to keep their top 5 hopes alive. So again, do we think, do we fancy Chelsea to beat United this weekend and then make this a bit of it would be a real open. If Chelsea won and Everton won this weekend, this whole thing blows wide open. I'm not even checked. Who do Villa have this weekend? They play Sunday, I think. They play against Sunderland at home, so you'd expect them to win that. But you never know. Sunderland, tricky team. What do we think, boys?
Well, I mean, I know you have a bet on Everton finishing 5th. I think that's too much of an ask for where they are right now on 37 or 47 points. I think it's just too much of an ask.
If they beat us tomorrow, they go to 52 points behind us in 5th.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, Liverpool, we still have to play Man United away, Chelsea at home, and Aston Villa. So they all play each other.
Don't you worry about Chelsea. They're next in line behind Tottenham. They have 4 points since they're equally bad. I think you're right though, Ross. Everton could be a team to look out for. United Chelsea should be entertaining. Stoppable force meets movable object. And Brentford are solid as always. They could.
Brentford home against Fulham. They then go to Man United, and then they're home against West Ham. And then, so I mean, the next 3 games, I mean, if they could win those 3, so the good thing is that all these teams are playing each other. So there's 6 pointers here. So obviously, Man United go and win tonight. You'd kind of go, it looks hard for Chelsea, right? Especially if Liverpool were to beat Everton, then you'd be kind of going, that gap opens up and that puts Everton back, and Brentford are a bit far behind. But if Brentford win this weekend, Everton win, and Chelsea win, which again, would it be shocking? No, it wouldn't be. Genuinely, I don't think we'll beat Everton. I think a point is probably the best we'll get. We're just not playing well enough. I think that the squad just doesn't look together at all. And I'd be shocked if we're able to get out of there unscathed. I do think with Man United's backline problems, I think Chelsea have got enough firepower to hurt them. So I just think that's going to be I think that will be actually a pretty good watch tonight. I think it's a huge weekend for so many things, especially at the top of the table. I really do think this could be quite defining. I think, again, if we can win that game against Everton, I do think it would be hard to see us not.
It's going to be tough to take away. Yeah.
Well, just because we've got no Europe, it's a sole focus. I think we've got home games again. We have to go United, but I think we've got Chelsea home, I think we've got Villa at home, so you have the advantage of Anfield. So I would feel okay. I would feel somewhat confident. Not sure because we've been poor this year, but yeah, it is going to be a fascinating top five race. But I thought Everton were good value. So yeah, who do we fancy? Chelsea, United tonight? What do we think?
I think United wins.
Okay, Billy.
Draw.
I'm going to go Chelsea. I think Chelsea will beat them. And then what about
your brother will be so happy.
He will be. She will love it. What about the Merseyside derby tomorrow? Who do you think? At the Hill Dickinson. So
I think Everton win that 2-1.
First
Really?
one ever. Yeah, that's an Everton one.
I think it might be a draw, but I fancy that for a draw. I think I don't know why I fancy Chelsea tonight. I just have a feeling. Is Fernandez back tonight? Enzo Fernandez?
He is. He's allowed to play again. He's off the naughty list for now.
I know. So that's probably partly why I think him and Caicedo have got a good partnership. I think Casemiro's out as well. So Ugarte probably needs to. I don't know if Menu's available. I don't know. I think Chelsea. If Man United's back line was healthy, I probably wouldn't fancy them, but I think they might beat them tonight. But we'll see. Okay, well, let's switch to fantasy because it's getting juicy. There's double game weeks this week, Mike. We've got a lot of blanks next week.
Yep.
So let's focus on these next 2 weeks because this is where the chips really matter, right?
Well, and you need to have known your chip strategy before this week. Right, Billy?
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
So I was a wild card 32. So this is bench boost for 33, and it'll be a free hit for 34. So had a nice little green arrow. Was 70 points last week, up to the top 10K. And so I have 3 frees. So I didn't do a full overhaul. All 11 starters are double game weekers, and then I've got one of the bench plus the keeper is a double. I hung on to Gabriel because I do think that because the title race is going to go till the end of the year, he's going to play, and so I've got like 0.6 tied up in value, so I couldn't relinquish him. And Bruno is not someone like he's almost the most automatic you got to have in the game right now. So those two I didn't get rid of, and they're my only single game weekers. I moved out. I took a punt on Bowen last week on the free hit when most people went with João Pedro, Calvert-Lewin, and Holland. I didn't pick up Calvert-Lewin until now. And so that was a nice little 14-pointer that helped on the green arrow. So,
lovely. Yeah, I did the same with Gabriel. I think he scores goals. He'll score some goals. And I did. I picked up Calvert-Lewin this week as well. I brought Haaland back in, not because of the game on Sunday, but because of the Burnley game.
Because of the Burnley game,
yeah. And I've got my free hit for the following week, so I can just do free hit to get through that. That's my plan. But yeah, I did bring it. I did actually bring. I brought Cherky in as well, so I've gone. But I've kind of loaded, just given what's on.
So you went. Did you go double or triple attack?
Triple.
So you have Semenyo as well then.
Yeah. So I've gone.
That's the differential move for sure. Is the differential move.
That's the one if I want to try and catch. So I've just gone with that. I got rid of João Pedro because the game this week. I think their games. I don't know. They're not fluent at the moment. I got rid of Mbeumo. But yes, I've got Calvert-Lewin. I've got obviously Igor Thiago. Everyone has him, and I've got Haaland. So interesting. It's going to be this weekend with the fantasy implications. Billy, any top tips you've got? Anyone you've dropped or picking up that you got your eye on?
Listen to Mike. He knows some things. He's my consultant.
That's why we do him. Yeah.
And so when I checked in before we went live, I asked him if he had played his bench boost, and he answered, "I thought about it." Like what? The whole point of the wild card was to bench boost 33. He didn't do that. So now, Billy, you've got to plan for a bench boost 36 because that's the next likely double. So
I see. Okay.
Out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I know you've got to run to catch a train, and we're just about at time. But
we're supposed to wrap up anyway, I think. So look, I mean, big game listen, this weekend. I think it's just a great weekend of sport, right? In the Premier League, there's so many big games. We've got the Chelsea Man United game to look forward to tonight. We've got the Merseyside derby ahead of a massive game at the Etihad, which will be season defining. I think if Arsenal get out of there without being beaten. It's one of those times where I think, given the context, I think a draw is absolutely a great outcome for Arsenal in this game. But I think it probably doesn't mean the title is sewn up quite yet either. But it still keeps them in command and gives them a little bit of breathing room. But let's look. I'm sure it's going to be behind the couch for you, Mike. It'll be
1,000%. One eye and behind the couch. Yes.
That's it, yeah. But listen, we'll see what happens. I think that could well be a draw. I hope it's a classic. I just hope it was an early goal either way. I think an early goal ignite these games and
open it up. Yeah.
It does kind of throw tactics a little bit out the window, which I think generally creates good outcomes. But yes, it's going to be super interesting to see the lineups, see how they approach the game. And yeah, let's just hope it's a belter of a game. And obviously, I'd love to see an Arsenal fan meltdown, boys. Not going to lie to you. Not that I have any particular love for City at all. Probably not even close. But just the meltdown alone would be. If they manage to, it seems unthinkable. If they manage to throw the league away and then manage not to win the Champions League, I just think the memes we're going to get are going to be just so glorious.
Welcome to Cesc Fabregas.
Yeah. I just think it's like, and then if Spurs get relegated, it's like North London. It's just like there's a curse in North London that then that becomes a thing, right?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But where are you watching the game, boys? Are you watching it at home?
Yeah, just at home.
Yeah, okay. Under a blanket.
Well, listen,
behind pillows.
Listen, we'll be on the group. I'll be noising you guys out. Again, I'm kind of like, I've got I'll see how I'm feeling after the Merseyside derby. I might be livid. Hopefully not. We'll see what happens there. But yes, look, thanks for coming on, Billy. Yes, thanks for all the new visuals. That's thanks to Mike. He's so good at this stuff. And yes, we will. We'll see you next week when we'll have reaction to all this stuff, which is going to be very spicy, one way or the other.
Cheers.
Have a good weekend and enjoy the games.
See ya.
See ya.